We are on our Sunday members call, March 26th. Welcome, everybody. I wish you were here, man. We talked about some cool stuff, and we are taking off in a very good way. But we're talking about change. We're talking about this masculine element to change, okay? And just to put it bluntly, if you want success in finance and entrepreneurship and career and women and your body, you know, your purpose in life and all these different things, they're things that are easy to do. But at the same time, they're very difficult. Or I guess a better way to put it is they're very simple, but they're not always easy. And the reason for that is because of all the internal stuff. So of course, men, we want the step-by-step laid out plan, the method just to do it and to push ourselves in that right direction. But what I know from working with men for the last decade plus is that that's not always easy to do. It's not, and it doesn't happen. You know, we have the plan. If you want to make money, there's plenty of people who've showed you how to do it in many different ways from many different areas. If you want to be successful with women, there's plenty of people who've done it in multiple realms of their sex lives, as well as their situations and all that sort of stuff. If you want to be successful with getting in shape, there's so many different ways to do it. If you want to be a vegan, if you want to be paleo, if you want to, do some other type of diet and workout plan, there's so many different ways to be healthy. But the problem is how we do it. And this is very interesting because a guy was talking about social anxiety and getting out there and getting social again. And see, the thing is we, at a time as a man, we have to do this very masculine thing to force ourselves to take the action. And guys that get the most success are good at this. But that doesn't mean that a guy who doesn't have that can't get success. And this guy, he fell into this role of social anxiety, or this mode of social anxiety, and he just gets freaked out while talking to people. And he was being really successful. He forced himself to go out and get some results. And we had some great stuff for him to go out and do socially and to connect with people. And so many just different things, especially with our TSL side of things, that shows you how to do that. And huge success with guys finding that. But he came to a point in this last weekend where it just traumatized him. Anxiety came back, freaked the fuck out. God, fuck. You got mad about it like we all do whenever we hit a point of failure or rejection. So think about that. Anytime you hit a point of failure or rejection with a relationship, with something that you want to do, and you lose your steam, you get off track, you get tilted off in a different way, you go, fuck, man, I fucked up. I got to get back on track. Well, one of the problems that I find with teaching is that when men force themselves to get back on track and not let themselves calm down, they never get into expression. Because expression of your highest self, where when you have money and you have success, that's going to be you. Or when you have women or you have the sex life that you want, that's going to be you, it's effortless. It's you. It's that thing. Now, of course, you have to build up to it. You have to get to the point of success. You have to get to the point of, break yourself from your diet. You're going to have to force yourself for about 2 weeks, maybe longer, to eat a certain way. But once you're on that diet, if you use force to stay there, you have to be neurotic to maintain it. Same thing with being social. Social is such a beautiful, effortless, great thing. But if you use force to make yourself go out and talk to people, to approach women, to get to a certain point all the time, you're always going to be using adrenaline or some sort of insecurity or fear rather than you, and letting your expression come out. And so that's the real beauty. We need to get into this mode where we cultivate the expression. No doubt, you got to force it. If I start a diet and I'm going on a ketogenic diet and I'm eating a lot of sugar, I must break myself. I need to commit for 5 days up to 2 weeks where I am only going to eat fats and no sugar and whatever. Because my body needs to switch over. It needs to chemically change. I need to force myself to do it. But after my body switches over into ketosis, if I maintain that sort of force and that sort of neurosis, I can guarantee you I'm going to break from that diet because that's impossible to maintain. If I want a good sex life where I want to know what it's like to be a man, and this is what we have to get into, especially with things like sex. If I want to be a man that knows what it's like to feel confident. We might not know what that's like to feel confident with our sex lives and to have all those benefits and that sense of self when you've had the sort of sex and relationships that you've wanted. I may have to force myself to go out and meet women. I may have to force myself to go on dates, to push harder in relationships and so on. But if I don't get to the point where it's an expression where that's me, and I think the PUA industry has proven this, then my force will turn it more into an image rather than an expression of who I am. And remember, that image of masculinity, what everybody sees, is a result of you. You are not a result of what everybody thinks you should be as a man. Take that to the bank. Let's live that. Let's join this community. That's what we're talking about. Come on our calls. Go to the Austin Men's Development or go to austinmensdevelopment.com/members to find out about our membership or follow the links down below. We do a lot of interaction. If you want a group that is dedicated and that holds you accountable to being your best self through a very open-minded, forum of community, God, man, it's amazing. That's what we do. Go there, start it now. You can start for free, and there's different paid tiers, and you get a lot of great stuff. Thank you so much for watching and listening. We'll talk to you guys soon.